Hello everyone. So how are you all? Well, today I'm here with a new topic, that is congruency of triangles. I know it's a little bit of tough chapter, right? But don't worry. I'll try to make it much easier for you. This topic will be covered in two parts. In the first part, I'll give you the introduction as well as some of the properties of congruency. And in the second part, we'll be covering some of the common examples of congruency. Now, starting our video with a very basic question. What is congruency? Congruent means the two objects that are identical to each other. Just like the two notes. They are identical. Obviously, the serial numbers are not the same, but I'm talking about their dimension, their length, their breadth, as well as their thickness. What about two hands? Are they congruent? Well, I will say that 99% times these two hands are almost congruent because when you join them together, they will overlap each other. In some of the cases, your finger be longer or smaller, but 99% chances are there that your two hands are approximately congruent to each other. So, in short, any two figures that are exact replica of each other are called as congruent. Now, the second question that arises in your mind is, why are we dealing with congruency? What is the use of it? Well, I must tell you one thing. If you are opting for engineering later in your career, then congruency plays a very important role. Like, if you see this bridge, the triangles with which this bridge is formed are almost exact replica of each. If there is a slightest change in the length of the triangle, the whole bridge will collapse. I don't think so you want to do that. Even the coins that you use, they are of exact same size, right? As if they are identical. So congruency do play a role in our daily life. Now, let's start with some of the properties of congruency. The first property is known as SSS. Now before that, let me tell you some short terms. S stands for side and A stands for the angle. Now for S, you will see a dash in a particular line, a single dash or a double dash. And for the angles, you will see a curved line. Okay? While solving any question on congruency, you should always follow these steps. Number 1. The first step is that you should always mention the name of the triangles. The figures sometimes are very complicated. So you should know which two triangles you are talking about. So in the first step, you will write down the name of the triangle. Then in the second, third and fourth step, you will show the property that you are using, whether it is SSS, SAS, RHS or AAS, depending upon the property that you are going to use. So in the next three steps, you will be using your property. And in the last and the final step, you will be again writing down the name of the triangle followed by this particular sign. This sign means that the two triangles are now congruent. And in the bracket, you will write down the property that you are using. Now, while writing down the properties, don't forget to mention the reason, like whether the sides are equal or the angles are equal. These steps you have to follow in solving each and every question because each step carries a marks. So let's start now. So let's start with the first of our property, that is SSS, or also called as side, side, side. Now, here I have taken two triangles. The first triangle is A, B and C and the second triangle is PQR. Now, what we are going to do is, we are going to prove that these two triangles are congruent. That means they are the replica of each. And by using the property of side, side and side. Now, not only I'll tell you about the properties, but the way to write down how to imply it in your answer sheet. because each step carries a marks. So here my first step will be naming of the triangles. So we will write down in triangle, this is a symbol of a triangle, A, B, C and triangle P, Q, R. So our first step is done, that is the naming of the triangle. Now see the figure carefully and tell me, if I'm taking side AB, which side is equal to AB? Now you can see some symbols here carefully. Here we have used a single dash. So in the other triangle, where is the single dash? Right, it is QR. So these two sides are equal. So don't forget to count the number of dashes. So in the next step, we will write down AB is equal to QR. And why they are equal? Simple, it is already given to us. So in the bracket, you will write down the reason as given. So if the things are already there in your diagram, you will simply mention that. Coming to the second one, if I take two dashes here, AC. So which side is equal to AC? Right, it is PQ. So in the next step, you will write down AC is equal to PQ. And again in the bracket, the reason will be given. Right? Now coming to the last one, the three dashes BC. This will be equal to which side? Right, it will be PR. Again, what will be the reason here? It will be given. Now if you see it carefully, in the first step, I am always using the triangle ABC. And in the second step, I am always using the second triangle. So don't ever mix match them. Always follow the same pattern. Now, coming to the next part, the last and the final step. Therefore, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. And what is the reason? The property name is S, S and S. That is side, side and side. So this is what your property SSS was all about. Let's move on to the next property. This property is known as side angle side, that is SAS. Now one thing is here, the angle should always be between the two sides. Like if you consider this triangle ABC, angle A lies between the two sides AB and AC. So that's a common angle between the two sides. Now again, starting with the first step, that is naming of the triangle. Here they are the same names in triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Right? Now if you see the triangles carefully, where is this one dash on the other side? Exactly, it is PQ. So we will write down AB is equal to QR. And what is the reason here? It is given. Now, I must tell you one thing. In all the questions that you do, you will always find in 90% cases, two things are always there given in the figure. And the third thing will always be related to parallel lines. Either they will be forming an alternate angles or corresponding angles or vertical opposite angles. So be very attentive while considering it, which we will be covering in our next video, where we'll be taking some of the examples. There I will tell you in details. So do watch that video as well. Coming back to our question, here our next is the two dashes, right? So two dashes is AC and here the two dashes are PR. And if you see in between them, there are the angles A and R. So let's take the angle first. This is a symbol for angle. Angle BAC is equal to angle PRQ. Again the reason given. And the last one, side AC is equal to side PR. Again the reason here is given. And the final step, therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. And what is the property name? SAS. Hence proved. Coming to our next property, that is AAS, which means angle side. Now in this property, there are two angles and one side. And remember, the side is not between the two angles. It will be the other side, like you can see in the figure. Again, we'll start the question by writing down the names of the triangle. In triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Here, if you see, the side AC is equal to side PQ. So we will write down AC is equal to PQ. And what is the reason? It is already given, right? Now, if I consider angle B with a single arc is equal to angle R with a single arc. So you will write down angle ABC is equal to angle PRQ. Again, what is the reason here? It is given. Now coming to the last one, angle A is equal to angle Q. So angle BAC is equal to angle PQR. Again, the reason here is given. And our last step, what it will be? It will be therefore triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. And which property we are using? Two angle and one side. I hope now you are able to understand how we are going to write down the steps. Because in the next of the properties, I'm not going to tell you the step, I'll only tell you about the properties. So let's move on with the next property. ASA, that means the two angles and the side between them. Remember, in these type of question, the side should always be between the two angles, as you can see in the figure. Now, let's jump to a figure. Here, if you see that the side AC is equal to side QR. So basically, we can write AC is equal to QR. The reason given. I'm not using the steps now. Okay. Now, next move on to the angle. Angle A, if you see it carefully, it is equal to angle Q with a single dash. So angle BAC is equal to angle PQR. And please always write down the entire name of the angle, not the single digit. Okay. Similarly, the last angle C is equal to angle R with the double arc. If you see this figure, you will notice that the side is between the two angles. If it would have been here, then it won't be the property of ASA. Okay. Now let's move on to our next property. This property is only applicable for right angle triangles because the name itself says R stands for 90 degree, that is the right angle. H stands for the hypotenuse and the S stands for the side. So in this property, one angle will always be 90 degree. One side will always be hypotenuse. Remember that, not the legs of the triangle. And one side will be the leg. Either it will be the perpendicular or the base. So hypotenuse is must. Okay. Now in this triangle, if you see it, angle B is equal to angle Q because both are 90 degree. And hypotenuse AC is equal to hypotenuse PR. Remember, hypotenuse is very important in this side because if it is not hypotenuse, then your particular property will not be applicable. The property will change. And the side BC is equal to side PQ. Okay, so this type of property is applicable for 90 degrees in the triangle. Sometimes it happens that in a figure, it will be a right angle triangle, but the hypotenuse will not be equal. So you can't put this particular property in that question. We will deal that example in the next video. I hope you understand the properties and how to write down while doing it in your question paper. In the next video, I'll be considering some of the examples. So if you have any question related to congruency that you are unable to understand, you can write down that question in the comment box. I will definitely take that particular example in my next video. So see you in the next video then, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. See you later. Bye bye.